It's time to talk about a little bit of what we love about baseball. And I saw, I just love watching this guy play, and I just love his energy and the fun that he clearly has. And I saw what happened the other night where he got on the mound as a position player trying to pitch, and it was just extremely entertaining. And then the story of him hitting a home run this week, and what it involved a young lady locally who thinks the world of this player. I just wanted to get him on and talk about it. He's Tampa Bay Ray Brett Phillips. How you doing, sir?
Rich, how are you living, brother?
I am living better for talking to you. I love watching you play. I love it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I just, I love this. So I love being a Major League Baseball player so much. I never want someone to watch me play or see me go about my business and say, that dude, it takes it for granted. That's the last thing I want anyone to ever say. So I appreciate you recognizing the joy I have, for what I do. So thank you.
Of course, I see it. It just jumps through the television screen, Brett. I got to be honest with you. And my youngest son is locked in on Little League right now, and I love watching him play, and I love watching him and his teammates play. And part of the reason why I love it is I watch their joy. I watch how much fun they're having, that they put on a baseball uniform and they put on a hat and they put on their cleats and they play. And you remind me of that. You really do.
That's exactly it, Rich. When we start playing sports in general, when we're a kid, what's your son's name?
Cooper.
When Cooper's playing right now for the first time, he's playing this game because it's fun. He enjoys it. He's finding himself, going to practice, playing the games, putting on the gear. It's all so fun and new to him. And as we get older, whether it's from competition, politics, whatever it may be arises that, kind of cloud why we started playing the game in the first place, is because it's fun. And my wife and I, we started a cool little brand. Baseball is fun, but it's more of a movement. It's more of an opportunity to show the next generation, like, hey, when you're going through your career as an athlete, it's okay to remember why you started playing the game in the first place. Regardless if you're a high school athlete who's feeling pressure from a coach, a college athlete who's feeling pressure from, the competition of trying to perform, or a professional athlete who's feeling feeling pressure from how much they're, being under the microscope and being judged, rightfully so, because of the amount of money we're getting paid. But at the end of the day, if you remember why you started playing that sport in the first place, then you're gonna ooze joy. You're gonna ooze that energy and happiness that Cooper has right now throughout your life and your career.
I love it, Brett Phillips. I got to be honest, I got a big smile on my face just hearing you talk that way, and then I just loved watching you pitch. Now, obviously, you pitching is not good for your team. Let's be honest, right?
Not good at all.
Okay. Well, if you're out there, the circumstances are not going the way of the Tampa Bay Rays that night. But just again, just watching your leg kick was going towards home plate, right? Did I see that properly?
You saw that properly, and let me give you the rundown on that. Last year when we were playing Toronto Blue Jays, and you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stepping into the box who can hit a ball 120 miles per hour. If I'm not prepared for a rocket missile right back at my jugular, then I would be in the wrong. So that little technique is for me to be prepared if a ball just gets absolutely blasted back at me.
So that's your way of, I guess, getting yourself in the ready position once you've followed through with what? What are you topping out at? What are you topping out at?
A nice 48 miles an hour, but you have to take into account the Y and X brake that goes into it. It's superstar elite. Okay, the spin rate. TrackMan can't even track how good my pitches are. That's how good. I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to explain you just have to watch it and say, wow, that's elite.
Now, do you get the pitch comm in your head? Do you get that anywhere, or you're just they're like, screw it, we're just dropping signs like all day?
They asked if they wanted to go pitch comm. I said, listen, I can let these batters know what's coming. They're still not going to hit it.
and the speed gun gives you the shrug emoji. I love it. So then I forget who was the one who connected, but ball in the air, and you say you're going to get it. You're going to get off the mound, and then you turn outfielder. At that point in time.
I looked at our catcher. He wrote that ball off as soon as it went up. I knew we had the shift on, and there was no one else that was going to catch that ball but myself. And again, I don't care if we're down 12 runs or whatever it is. I'm out there to compete. I'm out there to win, right? There's no gears to this. There's no, I'm going to take off the gas a little bit. No, like I still want to win. I still want to do well. So yeah, I went and got it.
Brett Phillips here on the Rich Eisen Show from the Tampa Bay Rays. Now let's get into the home run you just recently hit and the story behind it. My gosh, it's going to get a little dusty in here, gents. I'll be very honest with you. Who is Chloe Grimes? Who is this fan of yours?
Yeah,
Brett?
so I want to give you the rundown.
Please.
And I haven't told the whole story yet. So on Monday, we get a group text from the Rays front office saying, hey, every Tuesday we're going to have a Warrior of the Day. We want to do more with the community. And, when they say our community, like I'm from St. Pete, that is my community. So it means a little more to me, born and raised and playing Major League Baseball. Like, what a blessing. I'm so blessed. So I'm like, we get a message saying Chloe Grimes, who's battling cancer for a second time, will be out there tomorrow, Tuesday, to throw out the first pitch. And there was nothing else to the message. Like, no one, you weren't obligated to do anything. But in my mind, I was like, I want to meet this girl. All right, I don't know. Like, I just want to go, give her some love, pour into her. So, sorry, I'm cold, guys. I'm out here in Chicago. But
no problem.
So the game rolls around, and I go out there, and there's this girl. She's playing catch with her brother, and I go up to her, and she's just full of joy. Holy cow! She's got a smile on her face. She's super excited to see me, and I'm like, kind of looking around, like, do I have the right girl? Like, right? Like, is this a girl who's battling cancer right now? And she says, I have a present for you. And I'm like, for me? And she pulls out a softball, which was one of her game balls, and it's got Brett Phillips written on it. And then she pulls out a piece of paper with her picture, and it says, to Brett Phillips, you're like my favorite player. And then she wrote me a note, a third gift that just says, thank you so much for being awesome. Like, you're always smiling and having fun. And then she gives me a bracelet, and I have the bracelet on. It's not coming off. It says, rally for Chloe, our princess warrior. And I said, Chloe, this is going to bring me so much good luck and so much energy and power. And I said, I'm going to do something cool for you. And so she threw out the first pitch. Usually Raymond catches the first pitch. That's our mascot. And I said, no, like, would you mind if I catch the first pitch? She's like, yes, I want you to catch the first pitch. So she throws it. She did a great job. I give her a hug. And during the game, my first at-bat, I came up with the bases loaded, and I struck out. And I come up for my second at-bat in the third, and they already had the interview planned before the game that they were going to interview Chloe in the third inning. It didn't matter if I was up to bat. It didn't matter, like, regardless of the circumstances, that's when they were scheduled, Valley Sports, to interview Chloe. So I hit that home run, didn't think much of it, but just like, wow, that was really cool. Well, a teammate of mine who was inside came up to me later in the game and said, hey, listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but they were interviewing Chloe while you hit that home run, while she was saying you were her favorite player. And I was just mind blown. Like, holy cow, like, this is how special, how cool is that? So then after the game, Trisha had interviewed me, and I was touched. My wife's like, that's only the third time in 7 years I've ever seen you cry. And I was like, just the emotional, aspect of it all. And for me, I'm a believer, right? Like, it just solidifies everything in my life and how I go about my business. Like, to have a moment like that for my story is so cool. But at the end of the day, you have an 8-year-old girl who is battling cancer for the second time in her life. And she chose that morning to bring me gifts, to think about me, to think about someone else, to put a smile on her face, to go about her business the right way with joy and passion and her energy. There is no reason that any of us can't do the same. And that's perspective.
Beautiful, Brett. I mean, every last word you said, beautiful. And the impact that we can all have, that sometimes we don't realize we can have, is so powerful. It really is. And I do believe it powered you to homer. Did you say after the game that was the hardest you'd hit a ball? Like, is that was
the hardest I've hit a ball in my career. Like, wow. Honestly,
I love it.
It's that's what makes sports just so cool. It's what makes life just, through the circumstances, through everything going on. Like, when things like that come about, these are things that we need to take a moment and really dissect and understand. Like, it's more than us, right? And for me, it also it poses a question that I've been thinking about, and it's a question that I think we can all ask ourselves. We have to deal with consequences for our actions on a daily basis. And for me, I've learned that the consequences from good actions are a lot better than the ones from our bad actions. Meaning, if I go about my business each and every day the right way, where I give love and respect and energy, the consequences from that have always been good. And that's just it. So again, I mean, it solidifies something like that, just continues to propel me in a positive direction. And I just hope people can think about that in their lives and go, find just inspiration from Chloe. And, we continue to rally together to just be good people for each other. That's what it comes down to.
You're the man, Brett Phillips. You're the man. I don't know if you saw, we go from an 8-year-old fan in Chloe to an 82-year-old fan in Dick Vitale. Did you see he rang the bell for being cancer-free? I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, that no, happened. I did not see that.
Yep, Dickie V's cancer-free. He rang the bell.
That is awesome. He's one of our biggest fans.
He sure is.
Dickie V, love you, brother. We appreciate your support for Tampa Bay.
You're the man. All right, go get warm. I appreciate the call. Look for my call again. I'd love to keep checking in with you. And like I said, I love the way you play baseball. You are awesome, and I appreciate you sharing that story about Chloe and coming on. And it's about why we watch sports and why we love it, and we love watching you. Thanks for the call, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, Rich. Yeah, get my number.
Okay.
Keep in touch, and we'll get your son some baseball as fun gear.
Okay, brother. In. I got a daughter who's into it and an older son too. But right now, Coops, he's a lefty. We're trying to get him to stop pulling off the ball. We're trying to get him. We're trying to get him locked in. And right now, he's loving it. It's great. It's been awesome.
Tell Cooper I said good luck.
You got it. Thanks, Brett. We'll chat again soon, brother. Take care. That's Brett Phillips, everybody. How do you not love that guy, right? That's why you and I, sir, and you, who's been very quiet on this subject this week, we will never quit baseball because there's always going to be guys like that guy.
Never.
Not enough guys like that. By the way, I bet you there are many players who have similar approaches. They might not be the same personality and let it out there and call baseball as fun.
I would like
baseball needs more of those guys out there. Get more of those guys out there.
I would hope that that there are a lot of guys like that because it's a fun game to play, man. And when you get that type of story,
telling you,
how could you not want that to be you? If you know what I mean?
I know there's a basketball playoffs this weekend, and I know we'll be watching Major League Baseball. I cannot wait. The number one sporting event for me this weekend is my son's Little League game coming out tomorrow, and I can't wait for it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.